What's up, y'all? Welcome to the weekly wrap up, where I get to give you insights into the highlights of my week and address some audience questions. So, I'm Sha. I have a platform called Tings Nice that I have been running since 2014. I've been a creator in this space for 9 years officially. I started out as a blogger and I moved into the podcasting space at the end of 2019. And the reason behind that was to elaborate on the topics that I blogged about and then also reach an audience who preferred audio content. So my content focuses on Caribbean culture and highlights heavily the Caribbean Carnival experience. And then during business hours, I can be found in somebody's high school on the administrative team. I have been a school administrator for 17 years. That's a lot. And it was actually in my last year of grad school that I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do with all of my free time? And since I had so many trips on my agenda and people kept asking me about my experiences, I was like, okay, I think there's something here. On top of all of that, on top of blogging and podcasting, being a content creator, being a full-time career woman, I now have a toddler. She is 1.5, officially 20 months, and that threw a wrench in everything planned, but threw a wrench in everything in terms of life is just very different than it was before. So now I am adding that into my content as well, right? Like, how do I travel? How do I still carnival hop? What does that mean for my content and my trips? So let us talk about this episode. In each of these episodes, I really want to do like an overview, and then I want to talk about specific topics. So the overview of my week is that the highlight was probably me going to Brooklyn. I had a gig in Brooklyn to do a kids party for a young woman who was turning 10 years old. She invited her whole class, and I taught them how to create carnival accessories to wear throughout the party and then leave with as souvenirs. So her parents are Jamaican and Trinidadian, and they wanted to highlight that culture in the event, especially since her classmates don't have that melanin like that. So it was really fun. They are hilarious. If you have not been around 9 and 10-year-olds, you are in for a treat if you ever do get that opportunity. But it was a good time. There were some things that I would do differently if I had to do it over again, but a lot of that was out of my control, like venue and only having limited access to plugs. And so I did more than I expected to do, but end result was great. I think the highlight of that was definitely watching them do Follow the Leader and have like a little mini carnival as they followed the birthday girl around the venue, but it was cute. And then after that, I went to Island Jingle, held by Caribbean Biz Network. It was just a really great marketplace for Caribbean brands. And I walked away with some really nice lipstick. So it was nice. It was nice to be in Brooklyn. It was nice to see some friendly faces and get outside. And I live in Connecticut, so that drive, was different. It was a lot. Not a lot, but 2.5 hours on the journey back, but we survived. And then I got to see some family on Sunday, and then most of my week was really spent prepping my daughter to go on this trip with my mom. And on that note, we can glide right into one of the highlights, which would be talking about that preparation. Number one, I think I have mixed emotions. Like, I'm looking forward to the time away from her so that I can kind of get things done, especially as it relates to my brand. But on the other hand, I'm going to miss her. I'm gonna miss her presence. She does, like all kids, they irk your nerves sometimes, but for the most part, it is a pleasant experience, and it's has been amazing just kind of watching her grow up. So my mother actually wanted to travel with her last year, like when she was younger, and I was just like, sis, I don't know that you really know what you're asking for, what you're signing yourself up for. And at that time, she had different needs. Now that she is more mature, now that she's eating big people food, and you don't have to warm up bottles and do all these other things, I'm like, I think it's going to be easier. My mother also, she got a bad back. She had back surgery a couple of years ago, and I'm just like, that's a lot of carrying. And now that she can walk, you don't have to do as much, right? The stroller is there. She can entertain herself for a limited period of time. I think just things are different. One of the things that we did was, I don't know if you know, but like island people. So my family is from Turks and Caicos. My mother's side and my father's side is from the British Virgin Islands, Tortola specifically, St. Thomas. And one of the things that my aunt did, she came up a couple of months ago, but typically Turks Islanders tend to shop in bulk in Miami when they travel, and then they have those items shipped back home. And my aunt collected diapers and wipes and all of those essentials for her when she came a couple months ago, so that those things don't have to be packed in the bag when my mother goes. So it's just a lighter load, which I definitely appreciate. Since I plan to go in a couple months, I'm having her leave the car seat there because we got gifted some car seats from our friends. Shout out to Danny and G. And I'm telling her, leave that car seat there. I'll use it when I go. Since we have extra, there's no need to bring it back and leave the expiration dates on those car seats. It's not for a while, so it can definitely just stay there. And then last night was hair wash day, and I was gonna do some type of protective style that would last for a while, but my mother keeps hinting that she might have her hair done while she's there because my cousin owns a salon. So I was like, okay, bet. So I will just throw this up in a high ponytail and she can be on her way. And that's basically what I did, but I put it up high enough so that her hair is not like blocking the back of the seat or the car seat, which can be very uncomfortable. Even when I put like this head wrap on backwards, like it's very uncomfortable for me to drive. So I'm just like, let's think ahead. She also has her headphones that she has to put over her head to not only help with the pressure, but just for those moments where like, you know what, here, distract yourself a little bit. And I really don't want her to rely on the tablet too much. And then the other thing that her father got her was this cute little neck pillow, but it like secures her neck so that she's not breaking her neck like this. So it just keeps her neck upright while she's sleeping. So I think that was a really good investment. So that's that. She's on her way soon, and I will let y'all know next week how we're faring, like how we're doing, and you know how my anxiety is. I'm a little concerned about the return trip because my mother isn't going to have that help. She has a friend going down with her, but she's coming back alone with the baby, and I'm just like, but let her learn, right? This is something that she wanted to do, so let her do it, and she'll learn for next time. If there is going to be a next time, we'll see. But we appreciate the grandmas. Okay, grandmas be coming through. That's all I got to say about that. The highlight of this week, for real, was probably locking down lodging for Vincymas in St. Vincent. So my friends gave me this assignment this summer, this past July, when everybody was posting about St. Vincent, and we went to a fete, and my friends were like, yeah, so you are now in charge of planning Vincymas for 2024. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So that's what I started doing. I created the chat months ago, but now that 2024 is basically here, it is time to get cracking. And usually I like to get started even earlier than this, but I was like, you know what? I need to feel accomplished. I need to feel like I'm actually going somewhere. I don't have anything solidified for the year, so let me make this happen. So I spent some time this week looking for lodging and researching some flights, which don't look crazy at the moment. And I was able to secure an Airbnb. Looks pretty nice. I'm very excited to get in here. Now that lodging is secure, I will get my flight. I'll probably just get a one-way first because that's just how I roll. Mass bands should start launching sometime soon, like January, February-ish. So that is the next thing to look forward to. All I know is Oxygen Mass, and I think there's another one. But we shall see. I'm gonna keep y'all posted on that journey for real, as well. One thing that came to mind as I was preparing this and just thinking to myself in the car is just like, what would my ideal carnival look like? Because people always like to ask me, oh, what's your favorite? I'm just like, I don't necessarily have favorites. What I do have are pieces from each carnival that I just absolutely love, right? So if you listen to the R&B Money podcast, they have this segment where like the guest builds their perfect R&B singer, right? And so if I had to build my perfect like Carnival Voltron, it would consist of the following, right? So for Trinidad Carnival, like I would take the fetes from Trinidad Carnival because I think that just the scale to which they plan, the execution, the spacing, the thoughts that are put into presenting those fetes to the public is just unmatched. So I would take Trinidad Carnival fetes. I would take the road, the Jamaica, like the road itself, the route that we were on for 2016 and I think 2017 was just like, you had space. It was just spacious, like literally like 2 full lanes. I was like, let's do this. Yes. Then, of course, Juve, Jab Jab, gotta take that from Grenada. Gotta add that in. I think that is a very unique experience, very eye-opening. I would also take Midnight Mass from Grenada as well. That is, again, beautiful thing to witness and experience. From Cropover, from Barbados, I need the Bajan Bashment Soca. Yes. And I would also take from St. Lucia that Denery as well. And then we have, who did I miss? Where have I gone? Where we go? This is not an overseas carnival, although it's US based, right? For some reason, the costumes from Miami Carnival are always, to me, more attractive than the options that I have to choose from when I'm carnivaling abroad. I need that costume energy from Miami Carnival in my Voltron, in my perfect carnival. And then from Antigua, what I liked and what I would take from there is the timing. Like, it wasn't like at the crack of dawn, like every start of road was like in the middle of the day. So you had time to sleep, you had time to eat. It still went late at night, and you didn't feel like, I didn't feel rushed, right? So I appreciated like that start time. And the other thing that I appreciated from Mass in Antigua was having the ability to choose which bands I played with from Monday and Tuesday, right? Or just maybe I'm just playing on Monday. Maybe I don't have to do Tuesday Mass. Or maybe I do, this is what I wanted to do, right? Maybe I do Monday Mass with this band, like Mist, and then I do Tuesday with Insane, right? So having that would have been amazing for a lot of these carnivals. And then, of course, whatever 2-day carnivals there are, I think having a 2-day situation would be great. So that, in a nutshell, I think those are all the carnivals that I've been to. So that, in a nutshell, would be my carnival, my perfect carnival, my carnival Voltron, whatever you want to call it. Those are the things that I would pull from each one that I've been to thus far. The question that we are answering today is, how do you organize your life so that you have time to create so much? And what did you do to find the niche that works best for you online? I will address the second part of that question. The first part, I already have a video to, so you can go and watch that one. There is a part 2 coming as well. So for me, it just came naturally. From 2010, that was my first international carnival. From 2010 to, and then thereafter, I would get all these questions about my trips. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to keep having this conversation. I'm an Aquarius. I'm an introvert. My level of interaction is very limited. And so I'm just like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create this blog because I don't want to keep telling the same story. And that way, when I create the blog, you can then go to this link and read all about it. Okay. And then I will answer any comments collectively there. That was the driving force behind why I started. So it came naturally. I was traveling, I was sharing. I love to take pictures. I love to document things. I'm really pissed right now that I have 2 external hard drives that I cannot access footage from, but that is neither here nor there. But it just came naturally to me. And I think it's because I'm passionate about Carnival. I'm passionate about Caribbean culture. It made sense. And everything that I do on my platform is related to that, right? So now I have like these Carnival stickers. Shout out to myself. Now that I have these Carnival stickers, right? And the Carnival planner, digital version, physical version coming soon, those things are still related to Carnival, right? I used to have like these wire bra classes. Those things are still related to Carnival. So it's what happened naturally. I don't know that I can think of anything outside of that I would invest so much time in that doesn't feel like work, right? Like sometimes it might feel like work, but at the end of the day, like doing all this content is still fun. So yeah, that's that. If you have a question for me that you want me to answer in the upcoming episode, please drop them in the comments. Let me know if any of what I said resonates with you. And yeah, I will see you next week. Keep me in your thoughts as, we send baby girl off to travel for 3 weeks. All right. Later, you guys.